So as you all make your way down, I'm going to invite some folks to come up and join us. They're from a very special place for many of us. We actually, I think, as Leanne mentioned earlier on, have partnered quite meaningfully with the White House. And so I want to invite up Angelica Ross, Ina Fried, and Kate Jefferson, who are going to talk about the LGBTQ White House Tech and Innovation Summit and provide some quick demos. Welcome.
Hello, is this thing on? Hello?
It's about to be.
So, here we go. Do you hear me now? Okay, yes. Hello, how is everyone? All right, real quick, ain't gonna take up a lot of your time. My name is Angelica Ross. I'm the founder of Transtech and also the star of Her Story if you haven't seen it yet. Woo! Yes. You wanna introduce yourself real quick?
I'm Ina Fried, a senior editor at Recode.
I'm Kate Jefferson. I'm a software engineer at Solar City.
All right, so really quick, with the photos that you're seeing up here on the slides, this is the second year for the White House Tech Innovation Summit, and I'm just very happy that Leanne had put this together and made sure that it was intersectional, because this year, they really, Megan Smith, the CTO at the time, had really said they wanted to focus on the work that was being done by the LGBT community. And so we wanted to brainstorm not some new thing, but how could we use the resources and connections and the human equity that we have and the partnerships with the White House to create change for our community. So basically, we went into small groups and we tried to figure out different solutions. One of our solutions I'll be talking about later. Ina's going to go into trans needs.
Yep, and what was great was it wasn't just get together for one day and do a hackathon. They put us to work for 3 months on these projects. So the one I was involved with was called #TransNeeds. Basically stemmed from a conversation that I had had with DJ Patil, the chief data scientist who works for Megan Smith. And it turns out there's actually no data in the federal government on trans people. We're invisible from almost everything. And we knew we couldn't solve that in 3 months, but what we wanted to do was just hear what we're missing out. What are the problems the community has? So this quote from DJ, I'm going through these slides super fast, but they're all going to be available online. We'll tweet out from the @TransNeeds account. So what we did is we went onto social media. Sorry, I have to click really fast. So this was our approach. We went out on social media and we just asked people to tweet out what are their trans needs. But in order to get the word out, we had to get some attention. So DJ helped us launch it, giving a speech at the Hadoop conference. We reached out to some celebrities, Janet Mock, Angelica, a bunch of really cool people, and we got a lot of attention, which was great. BuzzFeed, and to me, the most telling thing was Rush Limbaugh devoted an entire segment to it, so that was pretty exciting. We got over 12,000 trans needs tweets from all 50 states, a really good breakdown of ages, not such a great breakdown of ethnicities. One of the things we tried to do was reach out to social service agencies, and we had a toll-free number that people could SMS. So those were ways that we were trying to get a more inclusive group, but we definitely, because we had such a short time, that was one of the things I'd say we could improve on. We got, basically what we heard from folks is that people's needs are the basics. So housing, healthcare, education, and the like. And we're going to do a report back to the White House, which I hope all of you will read. And I'm going to hand it over to Kate.
Thanks. So I worked on a team with a lot of people. Unfortunately, none of them were able to be with us today, but I do want to shout out really quickly to Courtney, Rashida, and Seth. Thank you so much. We worked on something that's born out of the police data working group at the summit. And it's named after, can we go to the next slide? A little unprepared, apologies.
Girl, I got you.
Thank you. So we decided to create an app called the Green Book, which is named after the Negro Motorist Green Book, first published in 1936. And I want to take a quick second to read what's on the slide, which was in the introduction to this book. It said, there will be a day someday in the near future where this guide will not have to be published. And unfortunately, many, many years later, for people of color and for people of the LGBTQ community, we're still in need of tools like this. So instead of it being a book, a paper guide, we decided to put it into an app. There's a couple different components. This is still a work in progress. We're still having our Scrum meetings. For those of you in tech, you know what that's about. So there's an API that's initially limited to the cities and jurisdictions where the police have decided to open their data to us. There'll be some data visualization on that so we can gather some data, and then eventually we want to be able to allow users to interact with it and put their own data in there so that we can get a better picture and better data on what's actually going on and really empower people in marginalized communities to have safe travels. Thank you.
Awesome. And one of the projects, the team that I was on was called the STEAM team. Yes, and yes, Maureen, yes, our project manager, Maureen, yes, how you doing? But one of the things that we stumbled upon when we were talking about, well, what is it that we need, was that when we're looking at all of these solutions, we really need to find a solution that helps the most marginalized. So when we look at our program, we're looking at, okay, can this program be accessible by a trans woman who is undocumented, who may have other things, needs, like she maybe can't see, or other needs. If that person can access these services and programs, then anyone should be able to access it. And so we wanted to take STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, and turn it into STEAM, where we can be the STEAM behind the development of our communities. It's a mentorship program, and we're going to do a VIP, so we're still in the sort of process of bringing everything together. But what we discovered is, what I've discovered through launching Transtech, is that many of us get into this sort of hero syndrome and complex about saving the world, and you burn out very quickly. And to avoid burnout, I believe that each of us, just like I loved when someone said earlier that we all need to be lifelong learners, I think we also need to all discover where we fit into things. You don't have to take on the entire problem by yourself, but you can add a little steam. Mm-hmm. You can be a little steam in someone else's rise. Sometimes it's just that they need space. With STEAM, it could be an e-mentoring conversation. It could be having access to job opportunities, or mentoring someone to let them know, what do you need to get together in your life to show up for this opportunity. So we're planning to mentor training that will train LGBTQ mentors. We're going to start with the ones that were at the LGBTQ White House Summit, and a team of advisors, which are made up of the people as well who were at the summit, and then a social service support network. This is really important because I'm not a social worker. And I would say probably many of you are not social workers either. But there's a lot of trauma. There's a lot of things that people in the trans community and people part of other marginalized communities have experienced. And you need to partner with folks who have the tools, the access, the resources, and the education or whatever to deal with those things, so you can focus on being that support system, that building the networks, and not focusing on some of the things that are really too heavy for us to lift. Those things that help, that really exacerbate burnout for us. One-on-one mentoring sessions, as well as group mentoring sessions. So the plan is you have your one-on-one relationship, but for the cohort and the pilot that does the mentorship, they would also have group sessions, and we're thinking maybe Google Hangout and things like that. And e-mentoring. Just to get to this, like, one thing that I've seen a lot is people see this huge problem and they don't know where to start, and, well, it has to be this way, and the best engagement you're going to have with folks is face-to-face. True. However, there's still someone in some rural area that can't have the face-to-face. Distance is too much. So why not use the internet? Why not use technology to connect us? So things like Google Hangout, e-mentoring is going to be very, very important, and hopefully with the STEAM team, we will create a model for other people in our community to get involved. That's it. So yeah.
I thought of two quick things that I forgot to get. Apologies, I'm super jet lagged. I flew back last night. First of all, I want to give a shout out to the people from that project that are here. Ginger Chin from AT&T, Jim Halloran from Twitter, and maybe Allison Billings from T-Mobile. I haven't seen you yet, but I'm hoping you're here. And then also to the companies that helped us out, Twitter, AT&T, T-Mobile, and ZipWhip really pitched in, and so we were able to do the listening campaign on both text and email, text and Twitter. Thanks.
Absolutely. Since we have 45 seconds, I will also say one of the great things about Transtech and teaching folks technology skills is that Transtech actually created the logo and the website for Her Story, which you're all going to watch, right? HerStoryShow.com. So it was something that was written by trans people were acting in it, and they employed trans people in the editing room. Yes. In the sound room, as actors, as directors. So it's a culturally pure product. Yeah, these are examples of, and even with the STEAM, it's really, really important. Lynn Conway, if you don't know Lynn Conway, she's an amazing, amazing pioneer in the trans community and in STEM, and she's the one who put that idea in my head about STEAM. So I just want to give her credit.
Thanks, everyone.